Welcome everybody, Shiur number 645. We're learning today L'Refuah Shlema Liba Bas Golda Bas Sheva and Miriam Bas Leish Takav L'Refuah Shlema B'Soich Shor Chayli Yisrael. Getting back to our malacha of TOFAIR sewing. So I just want to talk a little bit about tape and stickers in general. Again, as we know, Hamadamik Liaris, somebody sticks two items together, two pieces of paper. According to the Rambam, brought down the Shulchan Aruch, it's a problem of sewing. It becomes one. So, Lamaisa, what about sticking two items together, adhesive notes, regular tape, stickers, these type of inyanim? What about all those things? So, just to read real quickly from Sefer Lamed Malachas, page 821. The malacha of TOFAIR, as we know, includes combining any two separate objects into a single entity, whether by sewing, pinning, gluing, as we've spoken about. It follows that using adhesive tape or attaching gum-backed stickers involve the malacha of TOFAIR. So he goes through like this. Just to give an example, somebody has a torn piece of scotch tape from before Shabbos. Tearing a piece of scotch tape on Shabbos is running into a few different problems. We're not going to get into all right now, but could be kareya al manas lasake, and tearing it for a constructive purpose. It could also be mechatech, cutting something down to size. But be it as it may, for our malacha of TOFAIR sewing, Lamaisa, when one takes this sticky piece of scotch tape, which was torn from before Shabbos, and they repair, let's say, for example, a torn page in a book, or lahavdil in a siddur, or the like, that would be the Isser of TOFAIR. Might even be the Isra of Tikkun Mana. But in any case, as far as TOFAIR goes, basically what a person's doing, just to discuss it a minute outside, they're taking the sticky item and bringing two pieces of paper together by taping it up, and it's going to stay like that. So as we know, even according to those who hold that there is kayama, there is a permanence when it comes to TOFAIR. In other words, when it's less than 24 hours, it could be, sometimes it would be mutter in certain instances, and that's taka how we hold. We saw in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, but Lamais over here, somebody's taping up a page, and it's going to stay like that. So that would, of course, be the Isser of TOFAIR. Sewing Hamadabik Niyares would be usher. Now, of course, like we said, there could be some other Isurim also. That's one problem. Moving right along. Another interesting case it brings down to the Sefer Lamed Malachas, that is, if somebody has a note, a little note for themselves, and they have a piece of tape attached to the note, for example, from Erev Shabbos, and they had in mind to put it up, let's say, on the fridge or on the wall, so that a reminder for, they constantly have to do a certain thing, for example. Everybody knows we all have notes, reminders, these type of things, and they meant to put it up Erev Shabbos, to tape it to the wall, tape it to the fridge, whatever, wherever it might be, where the reminder would be. So now let's say one forgot, and it comes Shabbos, they want to, I forgot on Shabbos like this, I shouldn't forget after Shabbos again, let me just stick it onto the wall, onto the fridge, or wherever one wants to stick it with the piece of scotch tape that's already put on the paper and everything. That would also be running into a problem. If they're going to keep it there for more than 24 hours, for sure, that would be a problem. So brings down the Sefer Lamed Malachas. One may also not tape a note onto the wall on Shabbos or Yom Tov, for that matter, if the tape is meant to remain attached indefinitely. In other words, it's a reminder that they want to keep on the wall. The taping could also be considered an act of baina, ma'asav binyan. Okay, we're not going to get into that right now, but that would be an important example of whereby one is taping something and it's for a longer period of time. Now, the fact that one might pull it off, one has intentions of pulling it off under 24 hours, that would definitely make it easier. But if it's something that's going to stay there for more than 24 hours, for sure, one should definitely not do as far as the malacha of TOFAIR goes. And again, that could be some other inyanim or other isurim also involved. So the Sefer Shabbos Home brings down also on page 78, people have the adhesive notes, the post-it notes, and all these various type of sticky things. Items, of course, that was written before Shabbos. Nobody's going to write notes before Shabbos, but they might have either a piece of scotch tape attached to it or the regular post-it notes whereby they forgot to stick it on. A regular adhesive note, post-it note, they forgot to stick it on before Shabbos. So come Shabbos, they don't want to forget after Shabbos, so you know what, I'll just stick it on the fridge, on the wall. How bad could it be? So he brings down the same thing on page 78. It would be usher. It's forbidden to fasten adhesive notes, post-it notes, these type of things, to any surface on Shabbos, if they will remain attached for more than 24 hours. Because again, as we know, more than 24 hours, in general, like we saw in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, we do paskin that if it's less than 24 hours, the inyan of kayama would apply by TOFAIR when it comes to Hamadabik and the Yaretz and all of Taifa. But in general, where it would apply more but to us is in reference to sticking items. So again, if it's less than 24 hours, that would be okay. If it's just a quick thing, but there's no tearing involved and no machatech involved, in other words, no cutting down to size, these type of things, something that was already like a simple post-it note. They just want to, let's say somebody takes a simple post-it note or a adhesive note, and they just want to stick it on the fridge, and I need it there just for 2 hours, just whatever the case is. I have guests coming, I have to do something to take care of the guests for the Shabbos Suda, and I just want a reminder, it's now early in the morning for 2 hours, so something like that, as long as you just want to just stick it on the fridge and there's no like tearing involved and all these various type of things, no writing, no tearing, nothing like that, just for 2 hours, and you're going to pull it right off, so l'chayra that would be okay as long as there's no tearing of words and the like. But of course, if it's for longer periods of time, like more than 24 hours, that would be a problem. Whether it's on the wall, sticking it on, whether it's on the fridge, it really doesn't matter. Another interesting case you have brings on the Sefer Oisra Halachos on page Reish Beis. Ein ledabek oila haser niyaris umaydois al kaisa beis medrash. Sometimes, in a shul, they have this manim, and then somebody, let's say the gabe or whatever was, forgot to hang it up on the wall, so people know what time is shachar is, what time is mincha, shalashudis, and these type of inyanim. So one has something sticky on it, whether it's scotch tape, post-it note, these type of things, and they want to just stick it onto the wall, like this. People know in the base medrash what time it is manim, l'chayra, it should be okay, again, as long as it's less than 24 hours, but not if one's going to stick it up, for the weekly's manim, for example, for the whole week. I need this up there for the whole week. So that's already running into problems of more than 24 hours. Again, we're talking about cases where the scotch tape, of course, was cut before. The post-it note is just available. You just have to stick it on with a piece of paper, whatever the case is, where it's all written on, and it's going to come down within 24 hours, that'll be fine. But to go and put up such a thing, for the weekly Zmanim and the Shabbos Zmanim, weekly Zmanim, is going to stay up there 3, 4, 5 days, that's already running into a problem. And not just that, he brings on also it's also not to take it down. Let's say it's the one from last week, for example. It's scotch taped up from last week, the sign with the Zmanim, what time davening is, Shachris, Mincha, Ma'ariv, whatever the case is, from last week, and it's been sitting up there for the whole week. So now to go and pull it down, take off the scotch tape, take off the post-it notes that's been hanging up there for quite a long time. Obviously, if it was from last week, that's also running into a problem of kaireya. But again, we're going to talk about that separately. But again, because of the fact that it's more anything sticky in these inyanim, scotch tape, post-it notes, adhesive notes, more than 24 hours, whether it's off or on, the same thing in one's house, and they have a note on the fridge, and it's been up there, 2 weeks, and they come Shabbos, and say, oh, you know what, I don't even need this note anymore. They'll pull it off. They're not going to tear anything. I'm not tearing lettering. I'm not tearing the post-it note. It's no problem. Besides, it could be a problem of muksa also, depending on what the note is. Could be a problem of muksa, but lemaisa, one has to be careful as far as the sticky part, the TOFAIR part, not to take it off also, if it's been there for more than 24 hours. Just real quickly to note, interesting, the Sefer Lamites Malachas brings down a reference to these adhesive-backed note stickers, but we'll get to stickers hopefully a little bit separately. But he says like this, these adhesive-backed note pads, post-it notes or the like, made with special gummed adhesive backing designed for sticking and removing easily, should not be stuck on surfaces on Shabbos or on Yom Tov. Obviously, Shabbos and Yom Tov, same thing. Even though the message was written, of course, before Shabbos, that's not the issue. These adhesive-backed notes are not necessarily comparable to Velcro. You'll say, well, it's made to come off and on, so why is it different than a Velcro? Why is it different than closing a button or using Velcro, which we said was no problem when it comes to TOFAIR? As we know, again, Velcro buttons, these are made to be done and undone on a regular basis. So maybe this post-it note is really made to be done and undone also. Put on, stuck on, take off, stuck on, take off. So he brings down that because of the fact that they're often left stuck for several days. A person sticks up a note, could stay there for a few weeks on the fridge, right? We all know we stick the post-it note during the week. It could stay there for a few weeks also. So that's the problem. Because of the fact that it's often left stuck for several days, and it's for a one-time use. It's not like a Velcro where it's made to open and close constantly, a button made to open and close constantly. It's a one-time usage and then you throw it out. So Itaka says the permissibility of temporarily gluing in this manner is therefore questionable. In other words, even for the less than 24 hours, it's better not to do it because of the fact that people forget, they leave it there, people don't think about, I got to take it down under 24 hours, otherwise it's running into a problem. It's a one-time usage type thing. It's not like on and off type thing. So in general, one should be careful, if possible, not to use this stuff, even not to use these post-it notes and tape and bichlal in general, even if it's less than 24 hours, bichlal, one should try not to use it. Need be, halachically, letter of the law speaking, less than 24 hours definitely would be okay, as long as you don't get involved in any other issues like tearing the lettering, tearing the words, and these type of inyanim. Thank you for listening. Atzlach and bracha, kol tov.